Building authentic connections. What research actually shows about healthy relationships? Ever feel like you're putting effort into your relationships but not getting the connection you're hoping for? You're not alone. Many people struggle with understanding what creates genuine attraction and lasting satisfaction in romantic partnerships. Let's explore what psychological research actually tells us without the stereotypes or oversimplifications. The foundation. What creates real connection? Research in relationship psychology consistently points to several key factors that build satisfying partnerships regardless of gender. These aren't about manipulation or winning. They're about becoming a healthier, more integrated person. 1. Emotional regulation and self-awareness. One of the most robust findings in relationship research is the importance of emotional intelligence. People who can recognize and manage their own emotions tend to have more satisfying relationships. This isn't about suppressing feelings or staying stoic. It's about understanding your emotional responses and communicating them effectively. When you develop better emotional regulation, you create a sense of safety in relationships. Your partner can trust that conflicts won't escalate unpredictably and that vulnerability will be met with understanding rather than volatility. This applies to all genders and relationship types. Practical application. Notice your emotional reactions before acting on them. Practice describing your feelings accurately. Learn to sit with discomfort without immediately trying to fix it or make it someone else's responsibility. 2. Having a sense of purpose and direction. Research shows that people who have clear values and goals tend to report higher relationship satisfaction, both for themselves and their partners. This isn't about being mission-driven in some competitive sense, but about knowing what matters to you and living accordingly. When you have a sense of direction in life, you bring intentionality to your relationships. You're less likely to look to a partner to provide all your meaning and fulfillment, which creates a healthier dynamic. Psychologists call this differentiation, maintaining your individual identity while being emotionally connected. Practical application. Identify your core values. Pursue interests and goals that are meaningful to you independent of romantic validation. Contribute to something beyond yourself, whether that's your work, community, or creative pursuits. 3. Secure attachment and healthy boundaries. Attachment theory, one of the most well-researched frameworks in relationship psychology, shows that people with secure attachment styles tend to have the most satisfying relationships. Secure attachment involves being comfortable with both intimacy and independence. Healthy boundaries are part of this. They're not about withholding or playing games. They're about knowing your limits, communicating them clearly, and respecting others' boundaries in return. Research shows that relationships with clear, respectful boundaries tend to be more satisfying and longer lasting. Practical application. Learn to say no without excessive explanation or guilt. Communicate your needs directly rather than expecting others to guess. Respect when others set boundaries with you. What the research actually says about attraction. Contrary to popular dating advice, research on attraction reveals some consistent patterns that apply broadly. Consistency matters more than perfection. Studies show that reliability and follow-through predict relationship satisfaction better than any single impressive quality. People value partners who do what they say they'll do. Authenticity is attractive. Research consistently finds that people are drawn to others who seem genuine rather than those who appear to be performing. The exhausting effort to maintain a frame or persona often backfires. Mutual respect is foundational. The most satisfied couples in longitudinal studies demonstrate mutual respect, admiration, and the ability to turn toward each other rather than away during conflicts. Vulnerability builds intimacy. Brené Brown's research on vulnerability shows that genuine connection requires the courage to be seen authentically. The idea that showing vulnerability is weak contradicts decades of relationship research. Beyond the chase, what creates lasting satisfaction? Long-term relationship studies, like the famous Gottman research spanning over 40 years, show clear patterns in what makes relationships thrive. Positive interactions outweigh negative ones. Satisfied couples maintain about a 5.1 ratio of positive to negative interactions. It's not about avoiding conflict, it's about maintaining overall positivity. Effective repair attempts. Healthy couples aren't conflict-free, they're effective at repairing after disagreements. This requires emotional awareness, not emotional suppression. Shared meaning. Couples who create shared rituals, values, and goals report higher satisfaction. This isn't about one person leading, it's about co-creating a life together. Mutual influence. Research shows that relationships work best when both partners accept influence from each other. The idea that one person should always hold, frame, while the other adjusts contradicts evidence on successful partnerships. The problem with game and manipulation. Psychology research is clear. Strategies based on creating insecurity, withholding affection, or strategic behavior tend to attract partners with anxious or avoidant attachment styles, creating unstable relationships. These approaches might generate short-term attention, but they undermine long-term satisfaction for everyone involved. Healthy attraction is based on genuine interest rather than strategic pursuit. Honest communication rather than calculated moves, mutual growth rather than power dynamics, respect for autonomy rather than control, practical steps toward healthier connections. If you're genuinely interested in building satisfying relationships, here's what evidence-based psychology suggests. Invest in self-development. Therapy, self-reflection, and personal growth make you a better partner. Work on understanding your attachment style, healing past wounds, and developing emotional skills. Practice genuine communication. Learn to express your thoughts and feelings clearly without aggression or passive aggression. Listen actively to understand, not just to respond. Develop realistic expectations. No partner will complete you or meet all your needs. Expecting another person to provide all your satisfaction is a recipe for disappointment. Build a full life. Cultivate friendships, hobbies, community connections, and purpose beyond romance. People with rich, varied lives tend to have healthier romantic relationships. Learn conflict resolution skills. Disagreements are inevitable. Learn to fight fair, take responsibility for your part, and work toward resolution rather than winning. Respect others' autonomy. Healthy relationships involve two whole people choosing each other, not one person managing or leading the other. Moving forward. The truth about relationships is less dramatic than online advice suggests, but more empowering. You can't control whether someone is attracted to you or satisfied in a relationship with you, but you can become a healthier, more integrated person. That work benefits you regardless of relationship outcomes. Real confidence comes from knowing yourself, living according to your values, and treating others with respect, not from mastering techniques to manage someone else's behavior. If you're struggling with relationships, consider working with a licensed therapist who specializes in relationship issues. They can help you understand your patterns, develop healthier skills, and build the kind of connections you're actually hoping for. Remember, healthy relationships aren't about strategy. They're about two people who respect each other, communicate effectively, and choose to build something together. That's not less powerful than the alternative. It's simply real.